Hang on. Don't have my background setting on here.
Oh, that's
All right.
nice.
How's that?
That's
Yeah,
nice. I
that's
gotta
nice.
get one of those made. That's nice.
2, 1.
Hi, everyone. This is Craig Proctor, and welcome to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. Today, my awesome and very special guests are Kelvin and April Reed, longtime Craig Proctor members from the Virginia Beach area. Hey, guys, welcome to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
First of all, how are you both doing? Thanks for being here.
We're doing awesome. We're
Doing
doing
great.
better than good.
Absolutely.
Hey, now, how did you find me? How and when? I want to know the background story. Share with everybody, like what you were doing in real estate before you got involved with the Craig Proctor system. It is a system here, folks. This isn't random coaching or ideas or motivation. This is an actual real estate system that will make you more money and work less, which has been true for both of you.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thanks again, Craig, for having us up on here. We actually first met you. We was at a mastermind event in
Vegas.
We was in Vegas. We was at a mastermind event. We was invited by another coach actually to come, and we were seeking for to get more information to systems and processes. And when we seen you come across the stage, it was like, wow. At first we were like, I can't believe it, and so Greg, we did nothing that time. So we we didn't go forward with it. So
I remember that event. I remember that they had a whole bunch of different coaches there. It was a big mastermind event. And so that's crazy. So you were invited to that event by a competitor, by a different coach. You met me, and the rest is history. Okay, let's so that's cool. I didn't know that. All right, so what has happened to your business? Okay, let's compare before you got involved, before you met Craig Proctor, and what's happening today in your business. What are the big changes?
Yeah, well, actually, when we met you at the Vegas event, we did nothing. So maybe a couple of months later, we started like, oh, you remember this guy here, Craig? And so we started researching. So
who is this guy? Yeah.
Yeah. So we went to a super conference in 2018, and we had our own brokers then at the time, and so we jumped all in. We went straight from the super conference. We jumped into the broker owner, and we went straight to platinum. And it was overwhelming. It was a lot of information then at the time. It was like a lot. It was like getting the information coming to you with a fire hose. It was a lot. And so we was trying to take it all in. But what we did do initially, we actually began to implement the referral program right away. That's one thing.
That was going to be my next question, is like, of all this stuff that we came at you with, you're like, that's very normal. I hear from people, I feel like my head's going to explode. It's such a different, refreshing approach that we teach. So of all the things that we came at you with, it was the referral, worthy cause referral program that you implemented first?
That's right. Absolutely. Yep. Right. And so when we implemented that right away, that was a game changer for us. Because prior to actually meeting you, and we really didn't have no script, no system, no structure. We was just really out winging it, really, to be honest with you, and copying what everyone else was doing that we thought was, that was successful, of course. And so obviously that didn't do very well. And
be careful who you copy, right?
That's
cute.
That's what you found out. Now, explain to everybody, what is this worthy cause referral marketing that we teach? What is that system about? How is that different from, what we're typically taught, which is, hey, do you know anybody? Hey, April, do you know anyone that wants to buy or sell? Hey, Kevin, do you know anybody? You got anybody? And then the next time you see them, you got anybody? You know anybody?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
And we feel, as real estate agents, we feel kind of bad, right? It kind of makes your skin crawl because it seems so self-serving. So explain to everybody how this approach is different and why it works so much better if you want to get a lot of referrals.
Okay. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, first, I'm going to say this here, Craig. We used to have on the back of our cards, your biggest compliment would be a referral. You know, that's the biggest compliment. And so it was so self-serving, and it was just the system, the referral system that that basically you have, it was so different, because now it allowed us to be able to show what we was already doing up in the community, and to allow people to be a part of it. And that right there, I believe, was a game changer, because now we're telling people not only you refer over to actually refer us, but what we will also do in return is give to a nonprofit organization on your behalf. And that right there was like, wow, and when we first seen it, it was like, man, we already giving back, but
nobody's seeing it.
Yeah, nobody's really seeing it, And so
does everyone watching this understand what we're talking about? Okay, so let me break it down. So normally, as I said a few minutes ago, what are we taught when we get in this business? We're taught to ask for referrals or beg for referrals, and we feel kind of bad because it's self-serving. And so when I ask realtors, like, well, why do people refer to you? Why do clients refer other people to you? Well, it's because I do a good job. And then you remember in the conference, I asked this question, right? And then, so everyone in the audience says, well, I get referrals because I do a good job. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. You do a good job for all your clients, and they don't all send you referrals, right? And that gets people thinking. They're like, well, he's true. That's right. I do a good job for all my clients. Why do so few of them send me referrals? And why do we feel sort of bad about asking for referrals? Because it is self-serving. And then I ask people, like, how do your clients know to send you referrals? Well, I ask them, okay, well, what's your referral offer? Right? It's a weak referral. Do you know anybody? Right? Well, yeah, the biggest compliment you can give me is just send me a referral, as if like our clients are running around thinking, gee, how can I compliment Kelvin and April? All right. So I want you now to let's pretend I'm the client. Okay. You just listed my house. I want you now you come at me with this referral offer.
Okay, great. Well, Craig, thank you again. We really appreciate you working with us, and we're excited to get your home sold. We're very excited to get your home sold. Also, Craig, just so you know too, as a byproduct of you working with us, you're also giving back. Once we sell your home, Craig, we're gonna also be giving back, and you will be a part of giving back and helping the homeless. We give back to Union Mission Ministry. They do a lot. They do amazing work here up in the community for the homeless, and you'll be a part of that. So all I ask, Craig, is throughout the process, once we get your home sold, if you know anybody that can benefit from our service, and not only that, just give us a call. You can be able to reach out to us. And as a matter of fact, here's the information here where you can be able to go and you can research to see exactly what amazing work Union Mission Ministry is doing up in the community for the homeless. And if you know somebody, just let us know, Craig, because when you do refer us over to someone, you also will give up in your honor, and you'll receive that in the mail as well.
Man, that's so good and so much easier. Everyone watching, wouldn't you agree? That's so much easier to talk to your clients about something you really believe in.
Right.
Okay. So for Kelvin and April, their worthy cause is homeless people in their area. But, I'm asking everyone, what is your thing, right? Like right now, what would your thing be? We've all been touched in our lives by something. It could be, your thing might be the Cancer Society, because that's touched your life, or Heart and Stroke Foundation, or Kelvin and April, a lot of military people in our program, they give to they'll give to wounded warriors.
That's right.
Or if you're a pet lover, animal lover, maybe it's the Humane Society. So this is why this works. It's not self-serving. When you meet with people, you just say, hey, by the way, if you refer anybody to me, I give a portion of my income on every transaction you refer to me to fill in the blank to your worthy cause. Right. And so because the realtor now feels like they're talking about something they really believe in, because you really believe in helping the homeless people, right? Helping, donating to the Humane Society, or Wounded Warriors, or the local sick kids hospital is another big one. Because you feel comfortable with it and you're able to speak with conviction, you get more referrals.
That's right.
And then three people win. Okay. Obviously you win, you get more referrals. your worthy cause, the homeless foundation, they win, but the client wins too. Because guess what happens? Every time you're in the Craig Proctor system, every time, and we believe this, every time that we're able to help a client buy or sell a house, we save that client from having an ordinary or less than ordinary experience with another realtor.
That's right.
Okay, so we weren't even supposed to talk about this today.
I know, right?
but I was interested, because these guys are highly, you guys are highly successful. And my question always is what was the first thing you did where you started to see massive changes? Now, today, we're going to focus on something you guys really are successful with, which is generating buyer leads, qualifying the buyer, convincing the buyer to meet with you and sign a buyer agency agreement so that you are ensured that you're going to get compensated for the time you spend with buyers. Now, let me break all that down for the naysayers watching this, right? Some of you might be saying, well, how do I get the good buyer leads? Some of you might be saying, okay, well, I got the buyer leads, but I can't reach them on the phone. I don't know how to get a hold of them. And when I get a hold of them, they certainly don't want to meet with me. Right. And if I do get them to meet with me, I can't convince them to sign a buyer agency agreement. You might not even believe it's possible, right? We have a lot of realtors that are new with the Craig Proctor system, and they're like, yeah, man, that won't work in my marketplace. So, over in Virginia Beach, those buyers must be different over there. But in my marketplace, no, the buyers won't meet with us. They won't sign a buyer agency agreement. The first thing that we teach you is, yes, they will.
Yes.
Okay. There's and we had to get your head around this, I'm sure, in the beginning as well. Because look, if you don't pay attention to what we're talking about right now, or if you're a naysayer and you're like what we're about to talk about, if you believe it will not work for you, you are literally costing your family hundreds of thousands of dollars a year by not being open-minded. If you say the right things in your ads, you will get buyers coming to you. You won't have to door knock or cold call or chase anybody. And if you say the right thing on the phone to the buyers will meet with you. You can't make that buyer meet with you, but if you say the right things, the buyer will want to meet with you. You can compel the buyer to want to meet with you. Okay, now here's the next big step. Will they promise in writing that if they buy a house, they're going to buy it through you in the form of a buyer agency agreement? A lot of realtors are like, yeah, I'd like to do that. It's not like I'm against it, but they don't even believe that's possible, because here's what they say. Well, why would the buyer sign up with me, commit to me, when they can just work with a whole bunch of the other agents in the area and they'll run around showing them houses? Well, because you need to know how to do this. That's all. Right. So instead of saying it's not possible, because Kelvin and April are walking, talking proof of this. So you want to lean into this. I'm leaning in. You want to lean into this right now. Yeah, lean into this, because we're going to talk about how this works. So first of all, I'm going to kind of interview you through this process. How do you get the buyer leads?
Well, we create ads. We got ads from the system. We have a system that you created. We go into the coaching site. We have step-by-step on how we go about generating ads. We got different methods, different ways, but we have a complete system, and that we generate leads, tons of leads, hundreds of leads every single month.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. So there are templated ads when you're a Craig Proctor member, like really hundreds of them that have been tested out by me and thousands of Craig Proctor members. So Kelvin and April didn't have to, scratch their heads and think about, well, what is it the buyers want? We've already figured that out.
Absolutely.
Well, here's a hint. This is not what the ads are about. The ads are not about Kelvin and April, glamour shot, leaning on a BMW.
That's right.
Saying we're great. We've been in real estate X number of years. We have integrity. We work hard. We really care about your business. It's not that type of advertising.
Right.
The way we're getting and by the way, there's no outbound calls here.
That's right.
Okay. There's no cold calling. In fact, Kelvin and April can't even follow up. They can't even keep up with the people contacting them.
That's so true.
It'd be zero need to make an outbound call unless someone's already initiated this on their own volition. They've contacted you.
Absolutely.
You know, we could stop right there and a lot of people wouldn't believe that, April. A lot of people would be like, well, that just sounds, you know, this just sounds crazy. This is crazy talk, right? Okay. So, okay. Now I'll tell you why that's good, everyone. You know, because some people might be, well, why would Kevin and April want to have more buyers than they could possibly work with? Because they have the luxury of choice.
That's right. That's right.
Right. Because when Kevin and April's team, when they're calling the buyers, guess what? Not all the buyers are qualified financially.
Right.
And not all the buyers are ready to buy now. We don't have any time for the buyer. It's like, well, you know, I might buy in 2 years.
Right.
We have the luxury of choice. So of all the buyers, we're using a 3-minute script. It's called the Craig Proctor Universal Callback Script. And in 3 minutes, that's all we have is 3 minutes, because we actually want to make a lot of money in real estate. We can't be messing around with people that aren't ready to buy. We got 3 minutes to determine 2 things about the buyer. Yep. What is their motivation and what is their timing? Some of them are not motivated and we're not going to meet with them. And some of them, as I said, the timing's way off. Right. But if they're motivated and their timing is now, the quality of the words that come out of the mouths of Kevin and April and their team is so good that the buyer wants to come and meet with them. Now, let me give everyone a hint, because you know, you may be like, that sounds too good to be true. What kind of words are these, Mr. Proctor? Well, this is what I would say. I'll do a little role play. I'll be the realtor. Let's pretend that Kevin and April are the prospects. So I'm asking them a bunch of qualifying questions. So, you know, they've contacted me, first of all, in regards to something I've offered. Maybe, you know, maybe it's a list of high demand homes, but this is basically how the script would go. I'd say, hey, may I speak to Kevin or April? Doesn't matter, whatever person requested the information. Hey, this is Craig Proctor at the ABC Realty. The reason I'm calling is in response to your request for fill in the blank. I wondered if you're thinking about making a move. Yeah, that's why they called and requested, you know, that's why they called and requested specific information about making a move, because they're making a move. The analogy I give there, it's like, you know, if I walk into the barber shop and there's a bit of a lineup and I'm sitting in the waiting area and the barber says next, he knows I'm there to get a haircut by virtue of the fact that I'm sitting there. You know, the barber doesn't need to sell me. Doesn't need to, right. So by virtue of the fact that this buyer is called me, they're talking to me, I already know they're a good prospect. So now the question is, do I want to work with them? We want you to generate so many leads that you're actually thinking at this point, not am I worthy of the buyer? No. Right. Is this buyer prospect worthy of me?
Right.
That's right.
Boom.
That's good. That's good.
Okay, so we asked some other qualifying questions. You know, if you were to move, would you stay in local? Would you be moving out of the area? Do you own a house or do you rent? Okay. Do you have a realtor to help you when the time is right? A lot of people are like, well, what if they say they have a realtor? Well, I'm going to say, well, are you 100% committed to your realtor? Well, it's my dad. Okay, we're probably going to get off the phone on that one, right? Are you 100% committed to your realtor? Well, it's a friend. You know, she cuts my hair and she also has a real estate license. I'm going to come back with. I'm going to fight for this. I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to say, look, there's a tremendous difference between real estate agents, what they do, and how much they charge to get the job done. Do you think you might be open to meeting with me as well?
Absolutely.
Great. Okay, now we've qualified this buyer. Let's assume we go through all the questions, and in 3 minutes, I know quite a bit about Kevin and April. I know that they own a house. They're not renting. They want to buy first before they list their home for sale. They don't have a real estate agent. I know their timing is in the next. This is someone I want to meet with, right? How many of you would want to meet with Kevin and April? Well, yeah. And people are like, yeah, but why do they want to meet with you? You want to meet with them, no doubt. Well, I have to have an offer. I have to have words that come out of my mouth that blow the buyer away.
Absolutely.
Because here's what we already know. The buyer doesn't want to meet with us. The buyer knows they can find all the houses on Zillow. We've been taught to say to the buyer, I can help represent your best interest. I can email you the houses that you can find on the internet by yourself.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the problem.
I'm saying, so what do we need you for, Craig?
Yep.
Yeah. What? That's 100%. We need to address this problem, right? How many of you would agree watching this right now? The buyers already know they can find houses without the real estate agent. So if you're if your big offer to the buyer is I can send you access to homes that you can get on your own, or I can send you access to the same homes you can get from the other 1,000 realtors in my marketplace, you have what we call a weak offer.
Yep.
Okay. Now, if you've got a weak offer, what happens is you get nowhere with everybody. And then you convince yourself, well, these leads are no good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, these buyers are no good. How about what if you're no good? What if the problems with the words that come out? So that's what we work on, right? Magical words. Because I promise you this, folks, if you're convinced that all the people calling you are no good, follow up with some of those buyers.
Right.
I did that earlier in my career, and here's what I found. These buyers and sellers that said no to me, they listed their houses a couple of weeks after the fact with another realtor, and they bought homes with another agent. Maybe I got something to learn here, right?
That's right.
Okay, so you ready for the big offer, folks? I've qualified the prospects.
Right.
I know they're good. Here's what I know. The buyer doesn't want to meet with me. Me, the agent, I want them to meet with me. We got a problem here, right? I got to solve the problem. I've got one tool in my toolbox, which is the words that are going to come out of my mouth. So here it is. Okay. Instead of saying, would you like me to email you the homes you can get on your own? Would you like me to represent your best interest? You want to know what the buyer says now? When we say, I'm a great negotiator, the buyer says, hey, now that I can find the homes on Zillow, I know who has it listed. I can go around you, negotiate directly with the listing agent and save more money without you.
There you go.
Yep.
How are you going to answer that? Are you going to say, yeah, I agree and hang up? No. Here's what we're going to say.
Yep.
Kelvin and April, would you like to receive daily updates, priority access to all the hot new listings that match your home buying criteria? Both homes that are open to the public, but also homes that are not available to the open public. My list includes bank foreclosures, company-owned properties, vacant properties, new construction homes, and unlisted and off-market properties. It's absolutely free of charge, and you're never obligated to do anything. Would that interest you?
Absolutely.
Boom.
Yes.
Yeah, you think the buyer's going to say, no, I'm not really interested in that. I just described everything they want. Now, okay, I know some of the naysayers are like, well, how do you do that? You know, how do you get the bank foreclosure? Well, you got to be in Craig Proctor coaching. Okay, that's what you got to do. To find out how to do it, I can't give everything away here today, but we show you how to find the thing that the buyers want. I'll give you a quick tip right now. Over the last couple of years during the recession, the builders didn't want to have anything to do with us, right? So they're like, yeah, man, we're not cooperating. I'll tell you what, Kelvin and April, we'll give you $500 for introducing a buyer. You know, take it or leave it. Now, the interest rates have gone up. A lot of buyers can't qualify for this new construction home they bought, and they're walking away. Thousands of buyers are walking away from the new construction homes, and the builders are stuck with all these hot-built homes. If you approach the builder and you said, hey, would it be okay if I advertised your standing inventory? What do you think they would say? On my dime, 100% they would.
Absolutely.
So now that's a hot ad to run. Free list of new construction, standing inventory homes. These homes must be sold. Receive your free list of pictures, floor plans. You can still pick out the colors. The builder will give you all that. All you have to do is call them.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, where do I get the foreclosures? Where do I get the off-market properties? We coach you up on this. If we will introduce you to homes that are not for sale right now. They're not on the MLS. You can't find them on Zillow. You can't find them anywhere else. Kelvin and April, you would literally be the only home buyer that would know about these homes. Okay. They're not picked over. They're not on the market for a month. Would you be interested in that? Now, I've got the buyer's attention, right? The buyer's like, yeah, man, why would you? Of course, that's what I want, right? I have set myself apart now because I've offered the buyer something that the buyer they can't find that on their own.
They can't find that on Zillow.
They can't find it on Zillow. They can't find what I just said. They can't find it by themselves, and they can't get it from any other realtor.
Right.
So watch how easy this is. So when would be a good time for us to get together so I can take down your criteria? Mornings or afternoons?
I say mornings.
That's it. That's the only thing to discuss now is when are we going to get together? Now, if they fight me on this, which is rare, and they say, well, why do we need to meet? I can tell you what I'm looking for over the phone. I would say, because I want to do a good job for you.
That's right. That's
Right. Rather than me emailing you a bunch of homes that aren't going to match what you're looking for, or even worse, missing out on the perfect one.
Yep.
Let's get together for 15 minutes. I can have a perfect understanding of what you're looking for. And that way we'll only be sending you the homes that are a perfect match.
That's right.
That's right.
Okay. Now, I think all of us would agree. Could we do a better job for the buyer if they come in and meet with us at the onset?
Right.
Yeah, of course they would.
Absolutely.
No real estate agent would deny that. Well, they don't want to meet with you. Well, I'll tell you what, the buyer yesterday, they took time off work to go get their teeth cleaned. You don't think they'll take time off work to meet with a realtor about buying the biggest thing they're ever going to. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Okay. So you ran with this system. Now I've been doing all the talking here because I wanted to set this up. Now I want you to take this away. Now explain this system. I taught it to you just like I'm explaining it here today. And in the beginning, maybe you were like, yeah, I'm all in on this. Maybe you were skeptical, whatever. You're doing it now. So talk about what's happening.
Great. Well, so you set up the appointment. So now the next step is we have them scheduled to come into the office. So we do not meet any clients at the home or anywhere else. We have them to come to the office or we meet them at a place prior to. So we have them to come to the office, and our outside sales, what they do is when they meet with them, prior to meeting with them, we also make sure we follow up with them. So we want to make sure that they show up, and we continue to give them compelling reasons of showing up. For instance, we may send them a video right after we get off the phone and say, hey, listen, we're really looking forward to meeting you tomorrow at 2:00. We have these off-market homes, as we mentioned, that you cannot find nowhere else online, and we really are excited to give you priority access to these properties. And so then they come, they meet with our outside sales team. They meet with our agents, and our agents, only thing our agents do, they do not cold call, they do not schedule the appointment. We have inside sales team that does that. And so the only thing the agent have to do then at this point is meet them in the office for an appointment. So we give these appointments directly to our agents, our outside sales agents. Then they come in, and we have a whole presentation that you have given to us from your system. We actually have a presentation. So they just learn the presentation, they meet with them, they build a report with them, and they go over the presentation. And when they go over the presentation, from there, the buyer asks, where do I sign?
Yeah.
From there.
That's when you know you have a good presentation. Write her down, everybody. Right. At the end of your presentation, if you're faced with all kinds of objections, if you have to be an arm twister, it just means your presentation isn't strong enough. The proper thing that should happen at the end of the presentation is the prospect says, where do I sign?
Absolutely. And Craig, I'm going to say this. We know the presentation works so well because we have a 19-year-old. He graduated from high school. He wanted to be a real estate agent. I was hesitant. I was very hesitant, but we actually trained him the system. And at 19 years old, he sold more homes than the average agent. You
know what? I love it. And you want to know why that is? Okay. So the 19-year-old guy, he comes in and he listens to you, and you lay it out. You go, this is how it works. This is how it works. We generate, the Reed team, Kelvin and April. I want to lay this out so everybody gets it. It's so beautiful. Kelvin and April, they spend the money on the marketing. They've mastered it. They put the years into the Craig Proctor system. If you're watching this right now and you're in the Virginia Beach area, we'll go over the area they cover. You guys should be running to call them, to contact Kelvin and April, to talk about partnering up. This is a true partnership. Let me show you how this would work. If you're an agent on their team, you don't make any cold calls.
That's right.
They pay for the advertising. The leads come in, and you don't even get leads. The leads go to the inside sales agent. The inside sales agents call the inbound leads. There are no outbound calls, just inbound calls coming in. Those leads are given to the inside sales agent. The inside sales agents use the scripts that we've been talking about here today. When they've determined they've got a qualified, motivated buyer or seller, they set up an appointment for you.
Right.
If you were to work on Kevin and April's team, here's how this deal would work. They would say, okay, go to your CRM and open up your day timer on the days that you're available. You don't want to work Thursday nights, you got your kids or whatever, you book out Thursday night. But if you leave Thursday night open, we're going to book you. We are literally going to book you for appointments. So how sweet would that be? How much money could you make if you were literally just going from listing appointment to buyer appointment using their presentation, which is the Craig Proctor presentation? Because here's the other thing they do. They coach you up on this.
Absolutely.
They spend an enormous amount of time every week coaching their team members up. Why? Because the more money their team members make, the more money they make. Look at this 19-year-old guy.
19 years old.
Here's the deal. This guy has no old paradigms about real estate.
Yep.
Right? He's got no bad habits. He's got no paradigm. He's a clean slate.
Yep.
Right.
He walks in and Kevin and April say, okay, this is how real estate works.
Yep.
This is the presentation you're going to use. These are the words that are going to come out of your mouth, and you're going to do it this way. And they practiced it over and over and over again. And the first client he met with just signed it. Now, the 19-year-old doesn't think this is a big deal. He's like, yeah, well, that's how it's supposed to happen, because that's what Kevin and April said. Do you want to know who has the challenges? The 30-year-old veteran.
Yep.
Yes.
That's the guy. That's the guy that's dragging around the bad habits, the old paradigms. This won't work. But the 19-year-old, no bad habits.
That's right. That's right. That's
right. So you should write this down, folks. Experience can be your worst teacher. Experience literally can be your worst teacher, because we get into real estate and all the crap they teach us to do. We look around at what everyone else is doing, and the normal thing to do is we copy what everyone else is doing, and we start to believe what they tell us. Generating leads is difficult. Buyers won't meet with you. Buyers won't sign a buy. Yes, they will.
Yes, they will. That is so true.
Now, okay, I want everyone to get this. Now, you would, if you were working with Kevin and April, you're not getting keys cut. You're not making feature sheets. You're not taking pictures. You're not installing key boxes. You are a contract signing machine. That's what you're doing all day long.
Absolutely.
So you guys are the quarterbacks. We're going to throw in a football analogy because we like it, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. We are going to set up appointments, and we're going to throw the ball to you, and all you have to do is run through the goal line. That's it. And get touchdowns. And not only could you as a realtor make a lot of money doing that, you can see how profitable this is as a business model. Now, here's a question. Kevin and April, how many buyers can you now work with because it has nothing to do with you?
You know what? It's however many we can handle, because we are not the one who's actually doing. So we can sell 500, 1,000 homes, 1,500, 2,000 homes a year.
Did that blow you away the very first time you heard me talk about that?
The very first time I heard that, I'm scratching my head. I'm like, wow.
How many listings could you take on? How many sellers could you work with? How many buyers could you be showing houses to as a rainmaker? If this had nothing to do with you? Because the truth is, Kevin and April, they're not meeting with the buyers. They're not meeting with the sellers. They're the CEOs. They run this thing, and they are Craig Proctor team leaders. Okay, they've got a company here, and as a company, most real estate agents have a job, and it's not even a good job. Let's look at that. Most real estate agents have a job. It's not even a good job, because they're not making good money, and they're working 6 or 7 days a week, and they never know where their next paycheck is going to come from. If you're a fairly decent salesperson and you work for a sales company in corporate America, if you got out of real estate, you're a good salesperson, you'd make $100,000, probably $150,000 a year. They give you a company car. You'd have 4 or 6 weeks off or paid vacation, and they would pay for the leads. You get none of that in real estate. So if you're going to be a real estate agent, I'm going to repeat this again, folks. If you're in the Virginia Beach area, you need to reach out to these guys. Give us the service area that you work.
So we serve
Hampton Roads. Hampton Roads.
And that consists of the Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Norfolk, Suffolk, Virginia Beach, Oh, I said that Newport News,
Yep.
Hampton, and the surrounding areas.
Yep.
Folks, if you're in any of those areas, you should be running to have a conversation with Kevin and April. Okay. It's a conversation. There's no downside to this, right? You might know who they are. You might be looking at them in envy and go, I don't know how they're doing it. Look, just partner up with them. I promise you this. If you're a good agent and you partnered up with Kevin and April, would Kevin and April make more money? Yes, they would, but so would you.
Absolutely.
That's
Okay,
right.
but so would you. You would make more money net. And I was talking to a guy that was working at Remax, and he was, beating his chest about making $100,000 a year. But when we get in the conversation, he spends $40,000 to make the 100. So he's only netting 60,000. Then I find out his wife and himself just got divorced. He never sees his kids. It's like, so you're netting $60,000 and you've traded your entire life to this. It's a bad trade.
Yeah.
If you joined one of our brokerages, you would net 2, 3, 4 times what you're making and work less. People are skeptical about this, right? But you've got to check it out, because I promise you this, if you're liking this interview right now, once you hear this, you can't unhear it.
Can't unhear it.
Yep. Once you see this, you can't unsee it. And by the way, speaking of seeing it, we have a big conference coming up in Anaheim, California at the end of September. I would like all of you watching it, if you're not already registered, get there. Get to the Anaheim Craig Proctor 3-day conference. I think it's September 26th through the 28th.
That's right.
I'll give you, okay, here's what, if you want to check out what the conference is about, I've got a really good website. Very thorough. It'll give you the agenda, what you're going to learn. You'll know who's speaking, what they're speaking about. Everyone at the conference is making hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars doing the things that they're talking about at the conference. You can go to CraigProctorSeminar.com, no spaces. So my name, CraigProctorSeminar.com, and you can get registered. Now, if you're a member, I hope for sure you're already registered, but you don't have to be a Craig Proctor System member. You can come to a conference just like Kevin and April did. That's how they found out about this.
That's right.
They went to Las Vegas. I probably spoke for an hour. That got them curious enough to come to one of my 3-day conferences. And then once they heard it, they couldn't unhear it. And here they are today. So of course, I would like to introduce my system to every enthusiastic realtor that wants to make more and work less. It's CraigProctorSeminar.com. Now, we have an early bird discount right now, plus it's guaranteed. What do you mean it's guaranteed? If you don't like it, I'll just give you all your money back. It takes a fair amount of confidence. You can literally sit there for 3 days, write all the notes, take pictures, take it all in. And if at the end of it, if you're not blowing away like Kevin and April, I'll just give you your money back. Okay, you can't beat that. So you come at my risk, not yours.
Yeah.
Also, one other thing I wanted to add is if you're not in Kevin and April's marketplace, okay, you're not in the Virginia Beach area, you can book a free consultation, a free business consultation with me and my expert advisors by going to proctorcall.com. Okay, we'll type all this stuff in the comments below. Proctorcall.com, my name, proctorcall.com. And it is a Zoom meeting. Here's how this deal works. We would ask you a bunch of questions about what you're doing right now. We'd probably ask you some questions about why you're doing it. And you're probably going to say, well, that's just how it's done here, right? It's the way everyone does it, or it's just, the way I do it. Then I'll give you some great ideas that are different from what you're doing. I promise you this. Once you hear it, you can't unhear it. And at the end of our call, everyone will walk away with great information. It's a free call. You go to my Acuity Day Timer. Okay, you get there by going to proctorcall.com, pick a day and a time that works for you. And at the end of our call, you might say, you know what? I'd like to get more information on working closer with Craig Proctor. I would love that, but there's no obligation to do anything. It's not a big sales pitch in any way. We're just going to give you a lot of great information. How about our interview here? Do you guys think this was great information? Did you pay anything? No, this was free. And thousands of realtors are going to watch this because this is going to be played over and over and over again. So we're going to help thousands of real estate agents find a better systematic way to make more money and have a better life in real estate.
Right.
Now you've got a couple slides here that you've prepared, and I know we're running out of time here, but do you want to share a few of these?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Okay, so Faith is she's pulled up the cancellation guarantee. So at the end of your buyer appointment, if they're not ready to sign, you've got a cancellation guarantee where if they're not happy, they can cancel it. But you also have other guarantees. So I'll let you talk about those.
Yeah, so obviously this one here speaks for itself. Obviously, if they're not happy with our service, we get them permission to fire us. A lot of agents will promise it, but we actually give it to all clients in writing. So we have if you go to the next slide, Faith, it also kind of spells it out a little bit more, where it's totally risk-free if they work with us. And, so you got to really stand by what you're saying.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And I said this about our conference. I said the seminar I'm doing in California, if you don't like it, we have a guarantee. You get all your money back.
Absolutely.
Here's the language I use with this. I would say this to the buyer. I would say, well, first of all, if you're doing the presentation correctly, most of the buyers will sign up without the guarantee. So we're not giving this guarantee to every buyer. We're only giving this to the maybe 1 or 2 out of 10 that balk at the end of the presentation and they're not ready to sign up. I would hand this to the buyer, this piece of paper. It's a good prop. I'd hand it to them, and I'd say, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, this is a very important piece of paper. Mm-hmm. I can't be one of these real estate agents that meets with you today and I sound great today and I don't follow through. Mm-hmm. This is my 100% cancellation guarantee. If for whatever reason you're not completely blown away by what we do, you can cancel our agreement. And that means you can go work with any other agent.
Absolutely.
So I can't be one of these agents that sounds good today. I gotta do a good job every day to keep your business.
You gotta deliver. You gotta deliver.
Yeah.
Every day.
Now, if they won't sign the buyer agency agreement after that, I probably don't want them. But that's the go-to place after. If they won't sign without the guarantee, then we give them the guarantee. It's kind of a place you can go to, and you'll get most of the buyers signed up.
Yeah,
you will if you understand what to say and the order to say it. And then once you master it as the team leader, then what I teach you, you're going to be teaching all of the agents that work on your team. So first I teach you to master it, and then you teach them to master it.
That's correct.
Absolutely.
Yep. Absolutely. And you got this right here. Obviously, you just said it, Craig. It's the team approach. And that's the preferred way that we do business. Just like any other service, you go to an attorney, you don't expect the attorney to do all the lead, do everything. Basically, you don't expect to go to the doctor and expect the doctor to meet you at the front and take your blood pressure and sit you down in the chair, so we have the same approach.
Yeah, and most of the prospects we meet with, they work in their daily lives in a team approach, right? Like 80% of what the lawyer does is delegated to legal assistants. Doctors have other doctors and nurses, and the pilot's not out, gassing up the plane and throwing the luggage on.
That's right.
So a lot of people work in a team, and we compare our team approach to the solo agent who's trying to do a good job, but they're still juggling all the balls. And we can provide, you get our entire team for the same price as hiring a solo agent. It's a great deal.
That's right.
That's right.
Okay, so you're generating the leads. That's your role. Basically, your role is generating the leads, coaching your team to be more productive, and then, of course, recruiting, hiring, training new people that you bring onto the team.
That's correct.
Absolutely.
And that's a full-time job right there. The inside sales agents, their sole function is to follow up with this tremendous amount of inbound leads, only setting appointments with buyers and sellers that we feel are both motivated and they're ready to act now.
That's right.
Okay, so some of you watching this might say, well, you know what? That sounds like an interesting role. I can make a salary. I can make a commission. I don't have to run around, showing them buyers' houses or listing houses. And then we have outside sales agents. This is what's going to attract most of you. Guys, you could literally make 100 or 200,000 or more net in your pocket. Net. You don't pay for anything. You don't pay for the signs. You don't pay for any of the marketing. You simply are going from listing appointment to listing appointment to listing appointment. Now, the caveat here is you got to be coachable.
That's right.
The 19-year-old kid who knows nothing about real estate, he comes in and he doesn't fight it. They lay out, this is how the thing works. And guess what? He doesn't ask questions. He goes and he does it. If you are coachable, okay, you want to give us a call. Again, if you're in the Virginia Beach area, you're going to be calling Kelvin and April. Why are you calling them instead of me? You don't need to call me.
Right.
They're in your marketplace and they are doing right now everything you want to do in real estate. You don't need Craig Proctor. They're already hooked in with Craig Proctor. If you're outside of their marketplace, then you want to book a call with me at proctorcall.com, or even better, attend our conference. I know some of you are like, well, that's in California and I'm on the East Coast. We have a virtual option. You can watch it virtually. So what's the excuse for not doing that? Well, it costs money. No. You can watch the whole thing. If you're not blown away, we'll give this small investment back to you. That guarantee is in writing on the sign-up site at craigproctorseminar.com. We're big on guarantees, right? Just like with the buyers, that we give them upfront guarantees. If we don't do everything we said we're going to do, if you're not happy, you can walk away. You can use another real estate agent.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
All right, we are running a little short on time here, so we're going to have to get into wrap it up mode. But what is your contact information? What's the best way for anybody who wants to call you? Like they just want to verify, is this like for real? Is this like they want to reach out? They're excited about this. What's the best way for real estate agents to contact you?
They can reach us here in the office. Our number is 757-774-6069, or they can email us at contact@reedsrealestate.net.
It's that easy. And again, we'll have Faith type that in the comments below. So final thoughts. Let's have final thoughts from both of you before we wrap this up. And first of all, I want to say how proud I am of you guys. And I'm sure lucky we found each other. What are the chances, right? I'm in Las Vegas. There's a whole bunch of different coaches. Somehow you stumble into my room and you're sent there from a different coach. And, once you hear this, you can't unhear it. So now you go back, you can't stop thinking about this message from this Craig Proctor guy. And the next thing we know, you're at one of my 3-day conferences. And here we are, that was back in 2018. Here we are years and years later, and look at all the success that you've had. What would you like to share to wrap this up with everybody watching?
Well, I think I'll start off just by saying we're also Navy veterans. So we were looking for something that provided structure for us in the business, because we were just out here just winging it. And once we found your system, it was like, this is it.
Game change.
This is what we've been looking for.
So you wanted somebody to have a system. You wanted someone to have direction and say, this is how we do it. Because in the military, you don't wing it. Right? There's procedures for things.
No, we got manuals.
Do you know how many military people get into real estate that are in my system that have told me that story? They say, yeah, what we loved about this is you had the handbook, you had the procedures. When you're in the military, there is no winging it. We have best practices and everyone does it that way. So that's interesting because I have heard that from military people before. Don't we all believe there must be a best way to do this? There must be a best way to generate leads. There must be a best way to follow up. There must be a best presentation system. There must be a best way to recruit and hire and train and grow your team. It's right here. I am one of the only trainers that have actually made millions of dollars selling real estate. Some of these guys that you're giving money to, perhaps viewers, check the credentials. They've never sold real estate, or they certainly didn't make millions of dollars doing it. So why does that matter? Well, I don't know. If I want to learn how to play tennis, I would rather learn from someone that's a really good tennis player. Right. If I want to learn how to play golf, I'd prefer to be coached by a guy that's a really awesome golfer, because we can give you the nitty-gritty details like only someone that's actually done the thing. Okay, because I know we've all been to training before where they give you the 30,000 view, like, this is the overall general idea. But when you ask questions about how to specifically carry through on that, they don't have it because they never did it.
That's right.
That's so true.
All right, Kevin, over to you. Final remarks. I know this is going to be important remarks here. So what would you like to say to everybody before we sign off?
Well, I would like to say this. Number one is, if you're thinking about getting into the system, into joining Craig, trust me, it would not be no mistake. I would highly recommend you to do it. We were system driven, and you have a system for every single part of your business. If you want to really be able to grow your business, and this is the system, the best system. Trust me, it's the best system. I've seen several coaches. This is by far the best system that's out there. Second thing is, for any agent that's looking to net more money, yes, and do less work, and to be able to have a life versus not working 60, 70 hours and still not having time for your family and not making enough money, contact us. We would love the opportunity to work with you if you're in the Virginia Beach area, and we would love the opportunity to help you grow.
Absolutely.
And thanks again, Craig. We really appreciate you having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for your system. Thank you for just being freely to share it, because a lot of times people don't share this type of information because, so we are grateful for you. It really is a life changing for us and our family. And it now allows us to be able to realize our dream for our family is leaving a legacy. And by now having your home sold guarantee, we actually bought the licensing. So we're now a brokerage, your home sold guarantee Realty, where we now we follow the systems. We all in.
Yep, we're all in.
We all in.
As a real estate coach, that's obviously a big part of why I do this, is because I get to see your smiling faces right now, and I get to hear you say this has actually changed our life. Yes. And let's all remember why we get into real estate in the first place. We got into real estate because we wanted freedom. And we get in and we start to copy the traditional ways of doing this. And most real estate agents never actually get to see the success that they were hoping for. And the few that do become successful doing it the traditional way, they end up trading their life for their income. Mm-hmm. And we call this a success trap. They're making pretty good money, a couple $100,000 a year, but it costs them their relationship with their families and the loved ones and the people that they really wanted to spend time with.
That's right. That's
and true success is having both the money and the time. And I'm going to tell you, time is a lot more valuable than money, because you can always get more money, but you can't get more time.
Yes.
So I just want to reach out to everyone watching this right now. Hopefully this will hit you at the right time, at the right moment. But I want you to think about all the time you've sacrificed and you've struggled in real estate. The ball games perhaps you missed, times with your kids, your spouse. We never get that time back again. Absolutely. So the biggest gift I can give all of you is not just more money, but it's the freedom that we got into real estate to find. It's right here. There's a systematic way for you to move yourself from having a bad job as a real estate agent to actually having a business, and maybe someday owning a brokerage like Kelvin and April, where they're building equity for themselves. Okay, this is all possible. Everything you want to do in real estate's been done by Kelvin and April and thousands of Craig Proctor system members before you. You don't have to have a creative bone in your body. All you have to do is be willing to say maybe. Okay, make the phone call to Kelvin and April, or book a call with me at proctorcall.com. You can be skeptical, that's okay, but at least hear this out, because I promise you, you're opening a door, and you'll remember this day, because once you see this, you can't unsee it, folks. So I want to thank you very much, guys, for doing an awesome interview today. Really enjoyed it, and getting to know you better. For everybody watching this, and you're still here after an hour, I want to thank you for taking the time to be interested enough to watch this, because this is about changing lives. Okay, you're here for a reason. Let me assure you, whatever that reason is, The reason that I met Kelvin in April in 2018, kind of by mistake, at a conference where they were sent by another coach, and here we are today. You're watching this for a reason. I really believe that. So take action. Okay, take action. Book yourself for the conference at craigproctorseminar.com. Book a call with me at proctorcall.com, or reach out to Kelvin in April. And let's start off by having a conversation about how this can work for you. So we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much again, guys, for doing this. I look forward to seeing you in a few weeks in California. And to all of our viewers, thank you so much for being here. Obviously couldn't do this without you. We'll wrap it up for today. This is Craig Proctor, real estate coach Craig Proctor. Everybody have a great day. Thank you.